All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Give me a touch on the top prop bets today on both PrizePicks and Underdog, covering the various sports, NBA, college basketball, some esports, and soccer. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. And so the first thing I want to start off with here is actually going to be calling out a bunch of potential middling opportunities that we have today. So we look at some esports prop bets here. We have Yeon here with his maps 1 and 3 assists. This is clearly a good middling opportunity for us. We're at on PrizePicks that's at 15 and Underdog 18.5. Obviously, we're hoping for anything in the middle there. I think that's a good route to go there with that one. And then we are getting some decent middling opportunities here in college basketball as well, guys. So Brandon Smith has been a little bit annoying, and so has Ryan Kalkbrenner in the sense that they are always two players where we are seeing big middling opportunities. Like every single slate, like Underdog typically is a little bit higher, PrizePicks is typically a little bit lower. And for whatever reason, it seems like the opposite of really what the data is telling us to do typically ends up happening. So like in today's scenario, it would be that they both would end up hitting their unders on Underdog. But no, we still want to be trusting, obviously, the average sportsbook line, the projection data. These two are definitely interesting. Like, I don't mind the idea of attacking Ryan Kalkbrenner for over his fantasy score of 38.5. Okay, this is a decent bet. Now, this is something that I kind of did yesterday with some of my slips as well, where Hunter Dickinson was one where we were clearly getting a pretty big middling opportunity with him, where, you know, you're betting the over on PrizePicks, but you're also betting the under on Underdog. And then we had several bets, and I did that with Walter Clayton Jr. as well, who had a little bit of a prop line difference, but the rest of the predictable college basketball prop bets that we had, guys, ended up hitting, which was very nice. A little bit tilting that Hunter Dickinson did not get there, but you guys can kind of see the point. If we can bet both sides of a prop bet where we were getting big prop line differences, where that should not be happening, right? I go over this every single time, but specifically for college basketball, these big prop line differences should just not be occurring. Okay, to get a prop line difference of 3 is insane. We have Stephen Ashworth there as well, where again, I do like the idea of betting on the middles here. I think those are good edges, but the one that clearly stands out here is going to be Doug McDaniel. So let's go ahead and sort here by the edge. What we're going to notice is that this is actually going to be one of the better prop bets that we have on the day today is him for over his fantasy score. Not exactly a middle that we need to chase. You could, I mean, it is still off by a decent amount, but compared to the average sportsbook client, compared to the projection data, we are being told to bet the over, and I feel pretty good about this prop bet. So if we look at the game log with him as well, we're going to notice that it has been pretty darn consistent in terms of getting the over here. Against ASU the last time out, did have a little bit of a lower production game, only scoring 29 in that game. And then from there, let's zoom out a little bit, guys. We are getting Andrew Nembhard for under his fantasy score, which is kind of a fascinating one. So his current line of 25 is clearly too high compared to the average sportsbook line, compared to the projection data as well. On top of that, if we go ahead and take a peek here at the 9 to 5 NBA PrizePicks cheat sheet, we're going to see that most of the data points are telling us to bet the under here as well. Minutes have been about the same. Besides his last game against Memphis, where we were being told to bet the over, that was a pretty solid bet for us. We're setting up pretty well. You know, games prior to that had not been able to get the over in those games, so that is seemingly setting up a very good bet for us as well in today's slate. The rest of the NBA prop bets that we were getting are all okay. We are seeing some fantasy score prop line differences. I'll go ahead and zoom out of the fantasy score prop line differences that we're getting. The only other good prop bet that we have is going to be Scotty Barnes to get over blocks and steals of 2.5. And so we take a peek at the game log. Didn't have a good game against Memphis, but prior to that, you know, obviously getting there as well. So I feel pretty comfortable betting on this over here for Scotty Barnes. And then from there, guys, we are getting some soccer prop bets as well that we could be targeting. Now, yesterday was the first day in which they basically ended up hitting about 50% on the day, maybe a little bit lower actually, whereas the days prior have been pretty darn solid. So, you know, it's still early in terms of adding this into the cheat sheet. A little bit tilting. I had so many 4 out of 6 slips throughout, and 3 out of 5 slips throughout yesterday and the day before from soccer prop bets that we were getting. So kind of annoying there. Need Messi to step up, and he did not. That was a little bit tilting there, but I'm perfectly happy to go back to the well with both those two. Those are good prop bets that we are seeing there. We can scroll down. We are still getting some other prop bets here, but you know, not necessarily high volume day today on PrizePicks. We'll go ahead now and jump into Underdog. But first, I want to call it that 9 to 5 does have a new sponsor, and that's going to be Betr. So if you guys are looking to maybe add in another sportsbook for yourself, go ahead and sign up for Betr. I'm going to touch on kind of why I'm using them. One, they now have a desktop version as well as their mobile device, which to me is huge. You know, I typically always like to be betting on desktop first. It's just easier and you can take advantage of the lines that we were getting. But this is a pretty good deal that they have as well. So your first entry is on them. Okay, so it's going to be win or lose up to $250 like it says. I'll have the link to join. That's the 9 to 5 link. That is a simple and easy way to help out the channel that does kick back some money my way. Easy way to support the channel. But a simple call out as to kind of why I like this is going to be looking at our stack and opportunities for golf, guys. Now, golf is going to be starting by the time some of you guys are getting in here, and some of the lines have been adjusted, but this is just an example. So all these lines I'm betting on one side of it right now. So here's the interesting thing. You can bet all sides. You can basically bet on the course here, which is huge. So if you were to do this on PrizePicks or Underdog, they would actually significantly reduce the payout, which they are doing as well. You can see for a 6 slip bet, we're only getting 7x back, which is not bad. But really what I want to call it is that if you get 5 out of the 6 correct, you're getting 1.2x back, and you're still getting a profit here for getting 4 correct, which again, better payouts than typically PrizePicks or Underdog for those prop bets. And also right now today, guys, they do have 2 current promos that are available. Not the biggest edges, but still, obviously, we're always going to take edges where we can get those. So kind of, I'll give you guys a sample slip of what we could be running out today for Betr, just with the best prop bets that we are currently getting. And so, yeah, guys, you could easily just do maybe Edwards here with another prop bet that's currently popping up, which would be betting on Giannis for under 16.5 rebounds and assists. That's a good prop bet that is currently up right now as well. So again, guys, take advantage of the promo code. That's going to help me out a lot. Okay, I'll be posting when I can some good PGA edges that we have, but we have discounts right now, and you have that kind of, it's not a deposit match, but it kind of is, up to the $250. So if you win, you get the profit. If you don't, you get that money back. So that's pretty solid. Take advantage of that, guys. Link to join that will be in the description below. And now on top of that, guys, if you play on pick 6 as well, they are currently giving a gimme pick, is what they call it, for SGA for over his shot attempts. I think it just doesn't matter. I'm not liking really any of the bets that we have right now for pick 6, specifically for NBA, because you have to pair it with NBA only. And so with that, I'm kind of waiting until maybe we get some better bets throughout the day. But I did want to call that out as well. So many discounted squares as well. We're going to have the Sleeper Sunday on Sleeper as well. So big day for a lot of discounts, guys. Take advantage of those. That's the #1 way to be successful betting on props. But now, guys, we go ahead and jump on into Underdog. Really not getting that much here for Underdog. For the NBA, I know that this one is going to be bumped down Donovan Mitchell for under 6.5 assists, so no real reason to touch on that too much. We are getting some okay edges, though, for college basketball today, specifically with some of these fantasy score lines. So Bruce Thornton was one that we already saw popping up on PrizePicks. Same thing here with Micah as well. Micah Parrish, if you guys want to use those, you can. But I'm seeing these 2 fantasy score prop bets that are popping up with an over 54% likely to hit. I'm perfectly happy to just run out a 2 slip bet here. If you guys want to tag some of those middling opportunities that we had with those esports or the other fantasy score prop bets as well, you can do that there. But for me, it's just going to be a 2 slip bet, these 2 right here. And Carband as well is with Brandon Smith and Ryan Kalkbrenner. Those 3 have been the thorn in the side. So PrizePicks comes out with their line, and their line is at like 22.5. Bet the over there as well. Middle it, because those 3 have been super annoying. All right, guys, so jumping into the 9-5 bet of the day, doing various sports here. Obviously, do like the Doug McDaniel over fantasy score for college basketball, and then sticking with college basketball, Ryan Kalkbrenner for over his fantasy score. We are targeting that one little middle there that we have for League of Legends. Perfectly fine with that. That one's going live soon, though, so if you guys are watching this, make sure to click on that one first. And then Andrew Nembhard under his fantasy score, really popping up. Even if he gets the over, I'm kind of okay with it. I mean, we know that the Clippers are a little bit different. I mean, I know KPJ wasn't getting that many minutes, but he's looked good for the Bucks thus far defensively. I don't know. Maybe there's something there. I doubt it. But Scotty Barnes as well over his blocks and steals. We're feeling pretty good about that. And then just targeting the best soccer prop bet that we currently have as well. So perfectly fine with that, guys. That's going to do it for this video. Again, make sure to use the promo codes if you guys are looking to sign up for Underdog, PrizePicks, or Betr. All those are in the link in the description below. If you guys want access to the cheat sheets that you saw in this video, head on over to 9to5sports.com. Get access to all those prop betting cheat sheets for just $10 a month. Great value out there. Give a like, subscribe to the channel, guys. Thanks for watching. Good luck, and as always, let's keep cashing.